What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Daily Sean. For those of you who haven't been here before, my name is Sean. I do a daily video on something related to nursing. No rhyme or reason. Probably not going to change. It's your turn. It's your turn to take care of that patient. Oh, you know who I'm talking about. That patient, you know, that patient that the entire unit staff has rotated through. Every single staff member has taken their turn suffering through their care. Yeah, that patient, you know, that patient that just drains every cell in your body for one reason or another. That patient. We all have had that patient before. We all have had to take our turns. We have all tried to avoid it like the plague. I specifically remember when I worked in the ICU, I remember asking for an extra patient instead of taking care of that patient. I'd rather be 3-to-1 or 4-to-1 before taking care of that patient. But eventually it was my turn. What happens when it's your turn? I got a couple things you want to think about. I thought of 5 things that you should think about when it's your turn. Now, that patient could be virtually anybody for any reason or anything. It could be someone who's going into DTs from alcohol withdrawal. It could be that little old patient who has severe Alzheimer's and severe dementia, who now on top of all that has acute hospital delirium. It could be that particular patient that thinks that the hospital is really a hotel. Take your pick. Everybody's had to deal with that patient before. And quite honestly, it doesn't matter the reason why they became that patient. All you need to know is they are that patient. Number 1, remember everything that anyone has ever said about the patient. You're going to want to know the shortcuts. You're going to want to know all the little nuances, all the little things that have made others' lives easier. Everything from what their likes or dislikes are, what the television shows that they like, their medications, all the crazy little intricacies that could set them off or make them happy, because it's going to help you later. Number 2. Now I want you to forget everything that anyone has ever said about the patient, because guess what? How the patient was yesterday is not how the patient's going to be today. How the patient was when they first got in the hospital, more than likely is not the way they are now. And in most cases, this is not the patient's norm in any way, because if this was their norm, they probably shouldn't be in the hospital. You want to walk into that patient's room with a clean slate. You want to give them the benefit of the doubt. Remember, innocent until proven guilty. You have to try hard to forget everything that anyone has ever said, because then you start to judge someone before you've even met them. And how would that make you feel? Don't judge them. Simply don't judge them solely on what others have said. Judge them based on your own evaluation. Even if everybody was right. Number 3, when you walk into that patient's room, I want you to think of one thing. What if it was your family member? What if that was your mom, your dad, or your aunt, or your uncle, or your cousin, your niece, your nephew? What if it was a long-lost best friend from high school? What if it was someone that you loved? What if it was your fiance? What if it was your husband or your wife? Think about that when you walk into that room and they begin to piss you off, or they begin to cross over that proverbial line. Think about how they're feeling. How scared are they? Are they truly understanding what's going on? Are they ever going to understand what's going on? Do you really think that they're doing what they're doing on purpose, or is it part of the disease, part of the illness, part of the injury? How scared are they? What if you were in that bed? How scared would you be? Try and remember that. Number 4, this particular patient, this type of patient, that patient is going to exhaust every cell in your body. So take frequent breaks. And what I mean by breaks is you don't have to go take a 15-minute break or walk off the unit. Just step away from them every hour or so. Take a breather. Let your mind refresh. Go volunteer to help somebody with something else to get your mind off of the stress. The frequent breaks are going to save you later during the day or your shift, or if you unfortunately are set up for the next several shifts. Keep your mind fresh. And number 5, know your limits. Know when you're being pushed to your limit. I think I've talked about it before about being angry. Know when someone has their finger on your trigger, because that's when you need to walk away and take a break. Know your limits both physically and emotionally. Remember talked about the emotional bank. You got to think in terms of physical exhaustion as well as emotional exhaustion, because you can't be exhausted emotionally and provide optimal care. You're going to miss something. You're going to make a mistake. You're going to skip steps. You're going to find shortcuts because you're so exhausted. Go take a break. Know your limits. Know your limits. And your limits are going to be different than mine. They're going to be different from every other person that's taking care of that patient. And you probably won't know you've reached your limit until it's too late. So, like I said, take frequent breaks. Know when you start feeling that feeling. Everybody knows what that feeling is. At the end of the day, they're still a patient and they're still relying on you to provide them with optimal care. They're relying on you to help them get better. So try and do your best to do that. What do you have to say about this one? I know you got something to say about that patient. Any tips, any tricks, any words of warning, any words of wisdom that you can provide for our tribe out there the next time that they get stuck in the rotation and have to take care of that patient? Leave your comment down below. Comments are my caffeine. Share this with somebody. And as always, check your own pulse first.